Do you use Airbnb accommodation within South Africa? Hi, I'm Simon Dippenaar and I'm an attorney. A client recently asked me if the cancellation policy on her Airbnb booking was in compliance with our Consumer Protection Act. She had made a month-long booking, a month in advance, but within a few days found a better option. When she looked into changing her booking, she found that she was not entitled to any refund of the fee she paid up front. Airbnb may be headquartered in the US, but surely hosts must comply with the laws of their own country. Airbnb offers hosts a wide variety of options when it comes to cancellation policies, from flexible to strict, with variations on these for long-term bookings. The flexible option allows guests to cancel their booking and receive a full refund right up to 24 hours in advance of their check-in time. The moderate option lets guests cancel up to 5 days before check-in for a full refund. These choices are great for guests but less secure for hosts, and it's easy to see why they are not popular. The firm option allows for a full refund, but only if the booking is cancelled at least 30 days before check-in. In that time frame, the host is likely to secure another booking, especially in more popular parts of the country. It's a safe option for hosts, but not so safe for guests, as many Airbnb bookings are made less than 30 days in advance of travel. The strict option requires guests to cancel within 48 hours of booking, and cancellation must take place at least 14 days before check-in to receive a full refund. After that, there is a sliding scale of refunds. The strict long-term option is even stricter and applies to stays of 28 days or longer. Guests must cancel within 48 hours of booking at least 20 days before check-in. It's understandable that hosts want security of income, but it's ironic that cancellation policies tend to be stricter in areas of high demand, like Cape Town, than in less popular areas. The refusal to refund the fee for cancellation a month in advance hardly seems fair or reasonable. In a booming city like Cape Town, the host will almost certainly find someone else to book the space. So are such strict cancellation policies compliant with the Consumer Protection Act, or CPA? Section 17 of the CPA states that a consumer has the right to cancel any advance booking, reservation, or order for any services to be supplied. A supplier who accepts a reservation may A, require payment of a reasonable deposit in advance, and B, impose a reasonable charge for cancellation of the order or reservation. The word reasonable is key here. Now, Section 17 goes on to explain that a charge is unreasonable if it exceeds a fair amount in the circumstances having regard to the nature of the goods or services that were reserved or booked, the length of notice of cancellation provided by the consumer, the reasonable potential for the service provider to find an alternative consumer between the time of receiving the cancellation notice and the time of the cancellation reservation, the general practice of the relevant industry. In light of the notice periods most hosts impose for cancellation penalties versus the potential for the host to find an alternative guest, the majority of Airbnb's cancellation options are unreasonable and not compliant with the CPA. However, enforcing this on a host is more problematic. You'd have to file a complaint with the National Consumer Commission and refer the dispute to the Consumer Tribunal or approach an industry ombud. The effort and hassle involved in bringing an action as a private individual is more than most Airbnb guests are likely to want to take on. As most Airbnb hosts are private individuals, they are not represented by any industry ombud. Unless a large group of disgruntled Airbnb guests decide to get together and raise an action, we're unlikely to witness any change in the terms and conditions of South African Airbnbs. Therefore, for the time being, if you're booking Airbnb accommodation, read the host's cancellation policy carefully. The CPA may be on your side, but there is little you can do to enforce it. Airbnb stays do not fall under rental housing or eviction legislation, but if you need advice on other rental housing matters, give me a call on the number in the signature below.